What's up, guys? Welcome to the Stats Free Sports channel. Here to bring you a fan-submitted prediction video slash theory style video. This was on DK Metcalf being traded on draft day. Let's get into it, guys. So I found this pretty interesting. I received this in my inbox on IG a couple days ago, and first I just threw it out. I read it, but I didn't really think too much of it. But then I'm like, there's something to this. There's a new regime in Seattle, former DC for the Ravens, Mike Macdonald, who had a great year for the Ravens, calling their defense last year. And that team has a lot of needs, and it has some holes. They need a quarterback of the future. They don't have that Geno Smith, whose job was up in the air, kind of, sort of, earlier throughout the offseason. And I think this is probably his last year there. They need defensive help badly. They need help in the trenches pretty badly. So what way can you kind of start from the regime the right way? What way can you fill holes? And that's by getting draft picks. Well, the Seahawks need draft picks. They don't have too many draft picks this season. And or next year, this year or next year. So the thing is, you're gonna need to trade away someone or get picks somehow. And their biggest trade asset is 26 years old, pushing 27-year-old star wide receiver DK Metcalf. And there are some teams out there that could take on his big contract. So look at his contract, which I have on Spotrac. They have him under contract. Whoever team has him, or right now the Seahawks. But if a team were to trade for him, a team would have him for 2 years, 2024, 2025. Then at age 29, he will be a free agent. And that's not bad for a star receiver, 2 years under their control. The cap hit is pretty massive. The pay is actually not that bad. $13 million this year, 2024, and 2025 the pay goes to $18 million. But the cap hit is pretty high this year, $24 million, and the next year, $29 million, pushing 30. So that's about right for a star wide receiver. But let's get into some teams that could trade for him and how some trades could possibly look. But obviously, you got to go to the team that could afford his contract and the cap hit, and you got to pull up the salary cap to really, see those teams that could afford those and teams that have pretty high picks that would entice the Seattle Seahawks. So I look at, first off, the team that has the most cap space, and that's the New England Patriots. They have pick 3, also have pick 30, pick 33, pick 34. So I think, pick 35, 34, one of those two. But their first 2 picks, pick 3 is the main one, obviously. That will be a great spot. So that pick plus this first, second round pick for the Patriots for DK Metcalf straight up. So the Patriots giving up pick 3 along with their second overall pick, the second round pick, I think makes sense. The only bad part about it is they don't have their QB of the future yet. And that's the biggest thing that, kind of hurts them there. Brissett will be the bridge quarterback anyway. And I always felt, and I always said this throughout the whole year, the whole offseason, I never felt the Patriots going quarterback, I didn't really love the fit that Drake made. I didn't love McCarthy rooms. I didn't love Penix. I don't love Daniels. If they can't get Williams, I think the Patriots were kind of off in going that route, in my opinion. I've always said that. So with that being the case, especially May and Williams, those two are gone, pick 1 and pick 2. I can see the Patriots getting out of that pick 3 spot there, getting DK Metcalf, riding with Brissett this year. And then, as I said, next year, maybe Dak becomes a free agent, and the Patriots still will have money. Maybe, they'll have, they might be sorry still. They get another top 3, top 5 pick and get one of those quarterbacks from next year's class. So we'll see there. But there is some pros and cons to the Patriots going after this move. So, we'll see if that were to happen. Next up, probably the most interesting team is the Los Angeles Chargers. This one caught my eye a lot. They have the money now. Obviously, they start out the offseason around negative $50 million. They reversed that pretty quickly, traded Keenan Allen, cut Mike Williams, restructured the contract of their 2-star pass rushers, Bosa and Khalil Mack. And now they have around $30 million, $35 million to spend, plus the draft class as well. Take some of that as well. But they do have a need for a star wide receiver. So they give up pick 5 plus their second round pick Uh, they could get DK Metcalf, get us true young superstar wide receiver who's fairly healthy all the time, for the most part, to pair with their star quarterback in Justin Herbert. The only thing is they need help in the other places as well. You know, the line, the trenches, tight end as well. So like I said, every one of these things come with pros and cons, but does DK Metcalf having him with your star quarterback like the Chargers, if you're Herbert, if you're Harbaugh, does that kind of ease those cons a little bit, and you can worry about some of that stuff later on in the draft, or pick up some, because it's still some good free agents left around. It's not the top talent obviously, but it's still some good talent around to help some of these teams out. Look at another team as well that I have on my list, and people not gonna like this at all, but the Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs, after the Snead trade, have a nice amount of cap space left, around 20 million, 15 million, somewhere in that range. If they can get their hands on DK, which I think is definitely possible. I said the pay is around 14 million, but the cap hit is about 24. So they will have to make some moves, restructure some guys, extend some guys. But if they can get DK for their first round pick and their second round pick, that would be scary. That would be a game changer. That would probably make a lot of non-Chiefs fans very upset. So I think that's something that's very doable. I think it's something very possible. Marquise Hollywood Brown's on a one-year deal. Rashee Rice got some trouble, as we know, about a couple weeks ago now. He'll probably play, most likely, maybe suspended a couple games. We'll see. But he'll probably play, knowing how the NFL is. I don't really care about stuff like that. Unless you kill somebody, they're kind of cool with stuff you do off the field, for the most part. And, so Rashee Rice up in the air, but probably will play. Marquise Hollywood Brown on a one-year deal. And then you have Sky Moore, who hasn't really panned out yet, going on, year 3, year 4. We'll see what he has. And then you have Kadarius Toney, the problem child of the Kansas City Chiefs. We'll see if they keep him beyond the draft, because they could still cut him. He's not going to really make that much money. So we'll see if they bring him back for next year. It's still early to tell. So, the last part of the playoffs, last couple games, he was really making a mess, going on IG Live, talking trash about the coach and the team and all that stuff. So we'll see what happens with him. So outside of the main guy, Travis Kelce, who is getting older, who could be probably is entering his final stages of his career, you're going to need someone to carry that torch. Travis Kelce could be hitting that wall, could be hitting, not the wall, but could be going down the mountain as far as athleticism, talent, skill goes. And Hollywood Brown only being there 1 year, who says he pans out? He's a solid wide receiver. Hands aren't the greatest, but being with Mahomes should work out. Rice should work out. But you never know. You need more depth. You need more star power. And bringing on Metcalf will be amazing for Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs in their immediate future, who always find ways to get players that they want and players that they need. So those are my 3 main teams: Patriots, Chargers, and also the Chiefs. Some teams, kind of a stretch, but I wouldn't be opposed to it, like the Cardinals. I don't know if DK would want to go there, so that's kind of tough in my opinion. Yeah, that's really about it. I don't really see no other teams. The Steelers would be interesting, but they don't have enough money. But no, they're potentially in the hunt. Well, I guess they do though, because they can bring on Brandon Ayuk from the Niners. So it's possible. I'm not saying it's impossible, but the Steelers could be a threat. Pairing him with, that'll be scary. Pairing him with George Pickens, but I'll leave it at those 3 for right now: Chargers, Patriots, Chiefs. Those are the 3 teams that stick out to me and the most intriguing to me. But anything's possible. Teams can make stuff happen. The salary cap, as we all know, is a myth. So things can always be shaken up, be moved around, void years, all that good stuff. And I don't know if DK is traded. I'm not saying that. Like I said, it's a fan-submitted theory. But I wouldn't be opposed. And I'm not going to just shoo it off like it's not possible. We've seen crazier things happen, like A.J. Brown from the Tennessee Titans, being traded a couple years ago for dang near peanuts. So we'll see what happens, guys. But that's it for the video. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys next time.